They say that first love leaves a lasting impression on you, or that real love brings out the best in you. So starting with you, Michael, what would you say your Lovie's character brings out in Justin?
I think for Justin, he's in search of himself the entire show. So the stability that Keisha, she knows her objective, which is I want to get into Howard. I want to run. He doesn't know who he is yet. He's trying to figure it out. And I think that's why Justin is so attracted to Keisha, amongst everything else. You know what I mean? But yeah.
Yeah, and how about for you?
I do think Justin is one of the only real people that Keisha knows. I feel like she's used to people who are used to being a bit performative. So she likes that he comes as is and is like, hey, this is me. And then also, I'm going to tell you a whole bunch. And then you can take from that what you want. So I do think she's used to getting too little. So she gets too much from him. And I feel like she loves that abundance of energy that comes her way. On top of many other things that teenagers look for.
Absolutely.
I love that. I love that. And then, Michael, where we first meet Justin, it's like the odds are stacked against him, whether it's academics, social skills, like sports. So tell me, by the end, he's a totally different character, though. So what was it like for you, or what stood out to you the most during his journey?
Yeah. I mean, honestly, it's an actor's dream to be able to develop a character like that. And it's really a testament to Mara's writing, because she had the specific idea of bringing a character like Justin alive, and I've never seen him personally on my screen before. And so, it was this really interesting thing, and it was complex in a way that I was kind of scared, because I would be on set asking Mara, like, does he have to cry right now? Like, does he have to be so vulnerable? Like, do we gotta really do this today? But it was a dream, and it was this interesting thing, healing for me too. It was healing.
Yeah, and then Keisha is such an around-the-way girl from her. She inspired my jewelry today, by the way.
The Scorpio.
Scorpio! But tell me, what do you hope that those watching, like, how do you hope they see themselves through a character like Keisha?
I hope, even if it's not the same trauma or like the same thing, any young girl that's going through something, I hope that from Keisha they know that they can rely on community a little bit more, because I do feel like women, black women especially, they tend to isolate and try and solve all their problems alone. So just knowing that you have people around you that are willing to lift you up and to care for you, even if they might not have the same solutions you might have right away.
Yeah, and I had to remember that she was a teenager, because I was yelling at my screen like, girl, just tell your mama.
Yeah,
like,
but it's hard when you're a teenager.
Yeah. And then lastly, I feel like the way that we end the story is just very realistic. Very realistic, even though it hurt a little bit. So I want to know from you, where would you, in a perfect world, where would you want to see Justin and Keisha reconnect? Like, at what stage in their lives?
Ooh.
Pretty soon.
I was about to say immediately. Hopefully college. Like,
hopefully college, or hopefully before. I mean, we are talking, 2018, 2019, so do they reconnect, like, maybe during the pandemic or something?
Yeah.
I hope so.
Like, timeline fits, right? Yeah. But I do think they would be reconnecting pretty soon, because I do think that there is this force between them that doesn't keep them away from each other too long, even if it is, a summer's length,
Yes. And then, Justin started with writing the paper about Romeo and Juliet. Yeah. So it's like that pull is like fate constantly. Yeah.
That was a good catch.
Together.
That's a good catch.
Yeah.
What about Judy Blume's world that she created with Forever drew you to turn this story into television?
Judy writes from a place of truth and honesty and nuance and detail. And from the first time reading her books, I think I started with Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. She snatched me. And I think that's what's interesting is when someone's authentic, I think that's the word we're using. Like, she just was, it was grounded. It was at my eye level. It was the characters set on their own spine. And it made me see them, and it made me feel seen, because she was really in the details and the scope, and that was one of the biggest things that I wanted to translate in this version of it. The reimagining, I wanted to have scope and scale. The epicness of love and the intimacy of love is about those details, and I think when you are that caring and crafting it, that I think it allows for people to settle in because they feel safe.
Yeah.
And I think that's what love ultimately should feel like. It should feel safe. It shouldn't make you nervous. It shouldn't make you anxious. It should make you settle in. And sometimes the truth might not be what you want to hear, but is what is needed to say. And so I wanted to make sure that we translated what was given to me as a young person. I wanted to give that gift back to the globe, girl.
Yes.
I wanted to give that back. And then you know what it excites me is because the books were so, she's got a gazillion books, you know what I'm saying, that I would love to reintroduce Judy Blume to young readers now that could benefit from her narratives, that though they were written a while ago, the truth stays true over time.
Yeah, I love that. And, I love that you mentioned love because this is more than just your typical teenage love story. I feel like the emotion is also showcased through family, friends, and overall community. So why are the relationships that surround Justin and Keisha Clark just as important as this bubble that they find themselves in?
I think when you make your first choice in love, it's going to be measured by where love is in your life. And so who does Justin belong to? Who does Keisha belong to? Who loves them? Is how they're probably going to inform their first choices about love. And that was also important. And also our responsibility to each other, and more specifically, how the adults, we are responsible to making room for young people to fall in love. Yeah. Let's be honest about it. That's what they're going through. So why don't we make that space for them? In 2018, I wanted to talk about out of our fear for our children, we started to parent. Our love was parented through catastrophic thoughts, and so it narrowed the space in which our young people can find love, and figure it out. And I think we need to open that back up so that they can figure things out, and we can witness them. We can see them and help guide them so that they are safe into their future. So love is all around, and we need it constantly. I mean, you see the parents engaging with the children at pivotal moments, but mostly, isn't it great that Keisha found Justin and Justin found Keisha when they both needed it most? Justin needed to wake up and get on with his life and figure out who he really is, and she needed to be released from this mistake that she didn't need to carry on her own. And as a result, they were able to help each other get back to their best self.
Yeah, I love that. Oh my gosh. And my last question for you, Mara, is just, in the opening scene, Justin is writing a paper about Romeo and Juliet. So it's almost like it was fated for them to reconnect.
Yes.
If it were up to you, in a perfect world, where would Justin and Keisha meet again? Like, at what stage in their life? Would it be immediately? Would some time go by? Like, what do you envision?
Well, I think that, in reality, they're going to see each other again very soon. When you go off to college, there is that first return home. Funny, raising, I have a son in college now. Eventually they stop. They have their own lives between summer and winter breaks and spring breaks, but that first return home is still during the freshman year. So I sometimes wonder, where are they going to see each other for the first time when they come back, when Keisha comes back from school and what is Justin doing at this point? I also think there's versions of them where I envision them in their 20-something selves, somewhere, a city like New York or Miami or wherever the scene is, and them running into each other. That is an amazing feeling, just to see someone that loves you, know you, wherever you might be in a relationship with someone else. Don't you want to see that moment where they run into each other and be like, hey, oh yeah, that's my ex?
Yeah,